Kordsmeier,
You can go to sleep. If you make a wrong turn, I'll tell you. Turn off! There! There!
Is this where that friend of yours is going to say Brian is?
No, we won't get there till dawn. My stomach has feelings too, you know.
Tell me about Brian.
About Basco? How do I know? Took him a long time to get used to Happy Dale. At first he was horrified, but, you know, not everybody's cut out for living in the nut house. It's like this. The worst part is that swine Kurgan made life real hard on him. He does that with all the rookies, but Basco stood up to him. I liked the guy. I said, we're like kindred spirits. Banana! And he was. No one can steal keys or trick an orderly or fool a nurse like he can. And at night, even though he was hard to convince, that kid had a natural-born talent for poker. And he hardly even paid attention. He'd spend the whole day thinking about his next hypnotherapy session with Dr. Bennett. I'm innocent and I'm sane, he'd always say. Soon I'll be free and get back to Gina again. 2 days ago, yeah, it was Monday. On Monday, he went totally berserk from the therapy.
Bennett wants to throw me in jail. I've got to escape.
We'll miss you.
Gabbo, you've escaped hundreds of times. You've got to help me out of here.
Pipe down, Basco. Let me think. What you need is a Clint Eastwood.
Huh?
It's an escape designed for beginners. Not very artistic, but effective.
I'm not going back to jail. Tell me what needs to be done and I'll do it.
Listen up. You go into the casino and climb through the vent for the air conditioning ducts. Right behind the cover, you'll find a map. Use it to get to the central fan. A huge tube comes out of there. Climb up one of the numbered ladders. Doesn't matter which one, but don't even think of going up number 2. Slip between the bars, and you'll reach the tower at the top of the roof. You'll see a cable that leads down to the highway, right outside the walls of Happy Dale. Just slide down that puppy end.
Thanks for the plan. Enjoy your stay, idiot.
Kurgan! Stop! Open up, Kurgan! Open it! Now what do I do? That psycho stole our plan.
Basco, the art of running away involves much more than following a plan to the T. Improvise.
But how am I supposed to get into the casino? That psycho locked the door from the inside.
Improvise, I say. And don't be dozing off. You gotta get everything ready to escape right when the clock strikes midnight. Not a minute later or a minute sooner.
Could you remind me what the original escape plan was?
Go into the casino. Go into the air ducts through the vent. Follow the map you find until you reach the central fan. Climb up the tube and slide through the bars. Drop down the cable on the roof and you're free. Banana!
Why do I have to go into the air ducts through the vent in the casino?
You can't use the air vent in the common areas because there's always someone who can see you. The air duct vents in the rooms are so close to the cabinets that they're impossible to use. Only Munchkin Bob managed to get through one. But of course he was smaller than a shoebox. In other words, the air duct vent in the casino is the only sensible choice.
Why do you have a room all to yourself?
Connections. I guess somebody pays for me to be treated like a softie, and I ain't gonna complain about that.
We'll talk later, Gabbo.
Okay, but if we don't see each other by March 6th, 2037 at 12:37 p.m., start ironing the money.
See you later, Gabbo.
Okay, and you can tell me about how Bennett sold you up the river, right?
Now would be better. When I came to, after being hypnotized, Bennett was already at his desk talking on the phone.
Judge Whitley, I was just wanting to, oh, it's all settled now. Well, first thing tomorrow I'll have the report to you. But in conclusion, he's lying. He's not mentally ill. He's completely cognizant of his acts. He belongs in a prison and should never be let out.
Nice story, Basco. Now get back to work. Banana!
Great. What can I do to get into that casino?
Shoot.
We're all up there. The insane crowd and the crew that takes care of us. Great idea, so we can all remember who everyone is, because around here, every Tom, Dick, and Harry could be Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He's tortured me ever since I got here, and now he's trying to keep me from escaping. The dude has some majorly overgrown sideburns. She's uglier here than in person. Didn't think it was possible. The epitome of the over-friendly shrink. Hypocrite. She's the exact opposite of Miss Palmer. Friendly, pleasant, hard-working. Too bad it's her day off. I wonder why they call him Nuno the Stickface. It's as if the Phantom of the Opera were sponsored by a grocery store. Sometimes he gives me the creeps. Seriously, you can tell he hasn't had an easy time in these last few months. Ah, the great Marcelo Montes, genius and performer. Since he got cataracts and became half-deaf, he doesn't trust anybody, but he's so sweet. Sometimes he seems like he's going to blow up at everybody. He turned 102 years old today, and he's still hanging on. You'll never hear him say, okay.
Cool.
Impossible. That psycho Kurgan left the key in the lock on the other side. This is the old solitary confinement cell, but when Bennett prohibited such dastardly methods, it became a sort of storage room, until us patients managed to take it over.
Rock. Cool.
Hey, Ernie.
Hold on, Basco. What was all that yelling at Kurgan about?
Nothing. We were just playing, hide and go seek.
Oh? It's hard to believe you two get along. What do you need?
What do you think about the people at Happydale?
The employees or the patients?
Employees.
Who exactly?
The doctors.
My favorite is Bennett. He's reduced people's medication, and the solitary confinement, and the rough therapy sessions. He's a hard worker.
The nurses.
Ooh, they're all hotties. Too bad some of 'em are such whiny hags. That new one, Miss Palmer, I won't even look her in the face. Looks like a manhole cover.
The secretaries.
When you consider their job is to sit on their butts all day, they got some pretty nice rear views to offer this mirror. Sometimes I call Rosie up and invite her to the bowling alley so I can see her bend over and pick up the ball.
Sorry, I actually wanted your opinion about one of the patients.
Which one?
Gabo Spiegelman.
I found out that an envelope arrives at Happydale every month, and inside is a $1 million donation. There's also a letter with no signature that asks that Gabo be treated kindly and well in exchange. That's why the guy lives like a prince. Intriguing, huh?
Jacob Kurgan.
He's bad news, Basco. Don't get anywhere near him. Even if you think you're a step ahead of him, he's already put you through the ringer, and he'd do it again in a snap.
We really shouldn't be gossiping like this.
Okay.
What are you playing?
I'm not playing. This is Elvis brain training. A real blast. Amazing for jogging the memory and increasing your knowledge about the king. I know it all, except for the ones I miss.
Do you think I'm a murderer?
Probably not. You haven't got the guts. But I've been wrong before. And of course, between Gabo, Kurgan, and Quickle, what's one more killer more or less? What difference does it make?
I'm gonna take a little walk.
Be good, if you can.
No way. Quickle's in there, and he's having one of those days today. Hey, Quickle!
What?
Quickle, what's your opinion on the food in here?
Inedible bourgeois dog food. The servings are smaller than Nouvelle Cuisine. And if you ask for more, what
It's
do
the
you get?
headquarters of the unofficial
Obesity and
Happy Day
gas.
Out Patients
I
Union.
say we strike, comrades! A frozen jaw strike! Who's with me?
Hey, Marcelo! Why, thank you very much. What is it? Oh, a flower. Is it for me? It's lovely. A wonder of nature. Thanks, Marcelo.
You're welcome, Basco.
There's the book Marcelo always keeps on his night table, The Silent Sentiment by M. Mangel. It's Marcelo's. No, the only thing I'll find is Marcelo's PJs. They've got colored duckies on them. That's where I hide my candy. Yeah, I want those candies. Huh? Whoa, a knife. Where'd that come from? I can't let anyone see this. Oh, and my candy. Can't forget about that. I'm gonna be out on those streets tonight. You betcha. Nah, this place will be filled with mosquitoes if I do. Though you'd be surprised, the bars actually keep some of the fatter ones out. My alarm clock, reading materials, and several cardboard boxes. I'm quite fond of this alarm clock, but since I'll be free as of tonight, I won't be needing it. I don't think any of Marcelo's stuff would help me out. Before the flower photo, there was an imaginary one in there, and Marcelo would change it every day. Once, he put an imaginary portrait of himself in it, dressed as Houdini. Hey, I never noticed there was a vent for the air duct system in here too. Gabo says the cabinet is so close to the vent that you can't squeeze through there, but why not try? Oh man, this is impossible. Someone put the cabinet so close to the air vent that getting through would be a miracle. I'd have to be Rubber Man to do this. Hey, one question, Marcelo. It's about your famous routine, the one with the imaginary box.
Yes?
What did that imaginary box routine look like?
Picture this. The typical contortionist act, in which a man twists his body over into itself until it's so tiny he can fit inside of a very teeny box. Though my innovation was to do so in an imaginary box, which is much more difficult than squeezing into a real one.
I don't quite get it. What was the imaginary box like?
Well, it was transparent, square, the lid open outward. It measured 3 feet on each edge.
Wait, I think I'm starting to get the idea. Yeah, I think I can picture it. It was a really small box. How did you manage to get inside?
It's obvious. Fold it up into a tiny ball.
Let's change the subject. Hey, what's up with that rope on your pants?
I look completely ridiculous compared to the way I look with suspenders, don't I?
Sure do.
Thing is, when mine came loose yesterday, Miss Palmer almost lost an eye. But luckily, she didn't.
Yeah, talk about luck.
Well, yes. Though Miss Palmer then had the brilliant idea of burning them.
What?
With a cigarette lighter.
She burned your suspenders? But they were your prized possession. What a spiteful old hag. Could you get in the vent for the air conditioning ducts?
Through the vent? Wouldn't I love to, Basco? But I'm the great Marcelo, and I can't stoop so low as to perform such a simple magic trick. It's for my own good.
I've got to go, pal.
Okay.
Hi, Miss Palm.
Your medication.
More pills? I had my meds today, don't you remember?
You choose.
Okay.
Swallow. Good boy, Basco. And keep an eye on your stuff. I saw Kurgan suspiciously fumbling around with your pillow. I bet he stole your hidden candy.
Really? Okay. How cool. She fell for it. Thank goodness for the old put the pills behind the wisdom teeth technique. It's locked shut. Good. I'll take the blue one. It's better to steal the whole cookie jar than just one cookie. Nobody said anything, so I guess no one saw me take this. It's like a spittoon for the drugged-up, insane crowd. No need to rummage for long. There's just a couple of little paper cups and... the birthday candles from Monty Hollister's cake. Brand new. No, Miss Palmer would taser me with her freaky little thing. It leads to the air ducts. One will suffice, don't you think? You can tell some people have never had one of these in their pocket before. Just one little question, Miss Palmer.
What?
That new pill you gave me, what's it for?
Bennett's orders.
But what's it used for?
Bennett's orders, I said.
Bennett's? Oh, come on.
If it were up to me, it wouldn't be medication. So shut your trap.
I don't really care about that pill, but I do have other questions.
Well, I don't have any answers.
You shouldn't be threatening us with that taser, you know.
And you shouldn't come near me when it's in my hand, should you?
When is Miss Carrington coming back?
That's none of your business.
But she is feeling better, right?
It's none of my business.
You're just the substitute. When she comes back, you'll leave, right?
I'm your nurse, so watch your mouth.
What's your opinion? Did she fall accidentally, or did she jump?
The West Wing could drive anyone bonkers.
Miss Carrington was really happy working in this wing.
As corroborated by her swan dive out the window, right?
The truth is that nobody ever wants to work in the West Wing.
Psychopaths are not usually the life of the party.
You had just started working in the South Wing. Why did you have to come here and replace Miss Carrington?
Yeah, that South Wing sure is full of peace and quiet, isn't it? What's it to you?
Oops, I forgot to ask you one little detail about Miss Carrington. Talking about Miss Carrington makes me sad. Let's change the subject.
Sure. To nothing, I propose.
Didn't you forget the whiteboard therapy hour?
It's canceled today.
Why?
Because I don't want to.
I seriously need my whiteboard therapy. I'm daffy as a duck.
You can't convince me.
Okay, I guess I can skip my whiteboard therapy for one day. You're way too rude to talk to. Goodbye.
Out of here!
1, he has a cold, and talking would be bad for his throat. 2, he's 102 years old. Let's not ask too much of the guy. 3, he went mute at the age of 90-something. From what I understand, he's determined to get to Rancho Cucamonga. Your throat's mighty fine and your tonsils will shine. Splash, splash, splash. It's minty freshness galore. He's heading faster than a speeding bullet towards Rancho Cucamonga, California. That's not doable. Talk with Mr. Nice. Where do you get these wild ideas? He is such a sweetheart. Mr. Nice doesn't speak. In fact, he doesn't even listen. It says that Mr. Nice would like to take a trip to Atlanta, Georgia. All right. Hey, that's a great idea. The old switcheroo. And now, let's see if it all plays out the way I expect.
When I saw how much you hurt me, I bought the bear for his soul. When he saw how much I loved. Those who say that life is worth it, we haven't met you at all. Now my dear agenda, nothing but hate in all my head. I bought the devil head gold. Gold painted. Gold painted.
Now I can. High quality merchandise. Good. Done. Marcelo, I've got some suspenders for you.
Oh, no. Don't you give those to me.
Why not?
They're very dangerous. They can poke your eye right out of its socket.
Oh, no.
I promised myself that I would only put them on the next time I perform, for my own good.
All right, then. I'll keep them till you give me the cue. Yes, now that I have the suspenders, how can he refuse? What could that strange thing poking me inside my pocket be?
Don't worry, It happens to me too, especially when I wake up in the morning.
An imaginary box.
An imaginary box.
If only someone here knew how to put these suspenders on and hop inside.
Hey, me, Basco, me, I can do it.
Well, these are for you then. Ladies and gentlemen, with you tonight, the great Marcelo!
Oh.
Marcelo, you okay?
Hmm?
Then get ready. Here comes the best part. And now, the great Marcelo will get out of the imaginary box and make his way through the imaginary tunnel.
Imaginary.
Until he reaches an imaginary trapdoor in the tunnel floor.
In the tunnel. I'm inside the casino.
The great Marcelo's been teletransported.
I teletransported.
And finally, ladies and gentlemen, the great Marcelo will kindly remove the key from the lock and put it in my hand. I knew that psycho had left it in the lock. Some people use it to photocopy their butts. Kids these days. Yes, just like Gabo planned.
Right after going through the air vent in the casino, you'll find a map. Use it to get to the central fan.
Unless... I knew it! Psycho, 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 psycho! I should have known that Kurgan would take the map of the air ducts. I have no other choice but to find another map, or I'll never make it to the roof. It's the only unused one sitting around. The other day, Quickle just started banging on it, saying something about how it promotes bourgeois anorexia, until he busted it. The sliding iron weight came loose, and there's no way to use it anymore. No pun intended. Good. It weighs quite a bit, but I can deal.
Shoot.
Quickle, what's your opinion on...
Cool.
the nurse that used to be here before Miss Palmer?
Too fat, a blimp, showed off too much of her bust like a common hussy. She was hired to infiltrate our ranks. She falsely claimed to sympathize with our demands, but she lied. Miss Carrington to the firing squad. She inflamed.
If that
by
means I have to smash it to
indignation.
pieces, it sounds like an awesome idea. But on second thought, this
am
wouldn't be the
outraged.
right radiator. Hey, Quickle, what's your official position regarding... Dr. Tyson's methods?
Outdated, inhuman, psychologically demented. The man is a loon. Nothing but punishments, tortures, holes in the skull, lobotomies. What is this madhouse gonna turn into? Oh, how he stokes the fires of discord! I am outraged.
Oopsie daisy. Broke. Ernie, the radiator in this hall is busted.
Again? You gotta be kidding me. And during Chuck's shift. Rose? Hey, doll. Tell that bird brain I need him in the West Wing pronto, okay? Chuck,
It's working. I just have to sit here and wait.
the colorblind guy. Who do you think?
Luckily, I won the funnel during our last poker game.
By the way, Red, you been to the bowling alley that just opened near St. Joseph's?
Chuck Berry.
Elvis Presley.
Dude, yo, you ain't got a clue.
So, just like Chuck Berry then.
You listen up, Fatso. The day will come when you eat your words and you say Chuck Berry is the king.
Not in this lifetime. The king of rock and roll is Elvis. End of subject. Fix that radiator and scram, Buster.
Freaking coward.
They're like puppets hanging from my little strings. That is such a good idea. Chuck is the real king. Presto. And now...
Cool.
Hey, Ernie. Are you a Chuck Berry fan?
Not on your life, Basco.
Oh, since your picture on the photo panel says Chuck is the king.
What? Chuck!
Hey, man.
I caught you red-handed. This is your opinion, isn't it, punk?
That's not mine.
Come over here. Erase that with your tongue.
Chuck is the real... I never.
All right. I'll give you 1 minute to change your mind.
No.
I bet that inside there I'll find the layout maps for the ventilation ducts. They're mine. And that flashlight would be amazingly handy for finding my way around those air ducts.
Time's up. Want to start licking that graffiti?
Let's have a look. What the... I gotta figure out how to get to that ventilator fan. Okay, here we go. Good news, I found the central fan, and apparently the coast is clear. Somebody left this door open. Kurgan! Oh my! Oh, he's... Where's his head? Was it sliced off by the fan? Oh! How gross! This changes everything. Better tell Gabo about this. Where am I gonna put you, dude? That'll do it.
Brian burned Kurgan's head? And then what?